Hai and Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Anardini binti Wan Izani, matrix number 280290. Would like to present introduction for our report. So, every company have their own auditor that will audit the company. Same goes with Silverbird Malaysia, where they also have an auditor to audit their company. Mr. Tan Chin Suan, a founder of Silverbird Malaysia, started Standard Confectionery on a rent premise in Kuala Lumpur in 1960. So, our group with 6 members in one group was given a task to investigate the issues about financial fraud activities that have been occurred in Silverbird Malaysia. In year 2010 and 2011, their former company director, Datuk Jackson Tan Hancock, 59 years old, and Derek Chin Siu Cheong, 51 years old, were accused giving an inaccurate information to Bursa Malaysia Securities. Under Sections 369BB of the Capital Markets and Services Act 2007, both of them were charged with making a false representation to Bursa Malaysia concerning firm earnings 7 to 8 times. These problems arise as a result of the Securities Commission Malaysia identifying 8 unaudited quarterly financial accounts for the financial year ending 31st October 2010 and 2011. In February 2012, Silverbird declared that they were an impact listed issuer under Practice Note 17 of the Bursa Malaysia listing requirement, and that both of its official company director had been removed from board of directors.
Silverbird was famous for its high vibrant loaf and Silverbird cake. In 2012, the company shocked local corporate scenes by announcing a Rm112 million in its whole finance, which later turned out to be Rm297 million. As a result, the company is in serious financial trouble. Then Silverbird's Tan Chin and General Manager of Account and Finance Lai Bohmei was suspended at the time by the Board of Directors led by Chairman Datuk Gan Kwam Po. Following that, in August 2012, it filed a Rm125 million civil suits against Tan, Chin, and Lai. Due to lack of funds, the group downsized before falling into Practice Note 17 status with the accumulated losses of Rm462.29 million. The group was delisted in 2014. It went out of business in June 2016. Tan and Chin were both removed from the company's board directly shortly after the following discovery of financial irregularities. Silverbird announced in February 2012 that it was deemed to be affected listed issuer under Practice Note 17 of Bursa Malaysian listing requirements. Sessions Court Judge Tuan Murtazadi Amran granted Tan and Chin bail of Rm250,000 with one surety each and ordered them to surrender their passport. The case has been scheduled for case management on October 24, 2013.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I am Nurul Ismaniza Atira binti Muhammad Ali, matrix number 277095. I will continue with the next part of our presentation, which is chronological fraud. To begin, this financial fraud occurred in 2010. Next, Silverbird Group Berhad appointed a forensic report in February 2012. There were irregularities of transaction data and recording found. Not only that, the auditor had previously been unable to obtain sufficient information to validate and clarify the company's management decision. Based on the forensic report, it was said that the primary areas of financial irregularities may be recognized as trade receivable. This case involves two individuals, which are Datuk Jackson Tan Hancock and Ching Siu Chong, which were caught defrauding Malayan Banking Berhad by faking invoices and delivery orders so that the bankers will be able to transfer Rm 67.4 million to 3 companies. Apart from that, Silverbird's alleged financial irregularities of over 111.5 million were disclosed by Bursa Malaysia. These causes Dato' Jackson, Derek Ching Shu, and Lai Po Mei were all fired. Extension to the previous slide, Dato' Jackson and Derek Ching have been fined with 7 and 8 counts of misleading to Bursa Malaysia. Because of the missing information, the accounting company declined to provide an audit opinion, which immediately pushed Silverbird into PN17 area. Furthermore, Silverbird had also defaulted on debts to creditor banks, and its prepaid card distribution agreement with Maxis Berhad had been cancelled. Lastly, these scandals have raised a lot of concerns. Therefore, during annual general meeting, the board of directors for Silverbird Group Berhad were asked to disclose the facts and give an explanation regarding these scandals. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakri Muzali. My matric number is 280346. Want to present about the result and also the impact of the fraud. Firstly, the result of the fraud is when two directors, Silverbird Group Berhad, found guilty. They will be imposed under Section 368B/B of the Capital Market and Service Act 2007. So the result, the manager of the Silverbird Group Berhad, Tan and Ching, will be liable to imprisonment of up to 10 years and whipping, and will not be fined exceeding 3 million upon conviction of committing the fraud. Next is the impact of fraud of financial statement. Fraud financial statement give highly impact to many aspects in the company and their environment. Firstly, it will give harmful effect to the company because when the fraud occurs, the company will undermine the quality and integrity of the financial reporting process of the company. Besides, it also can threaten the integrity and objectivity of the accounting profession, especially auditor and also auditing firm that audit the company involving in the fraud. Other than that, the financial statement fraud would lead to the bad economics market. This is because this kind of fraud will diminish the confidence of capital market and market participant in reliability of financial information, so indirectly it makes the capital market less efficient. Next, this fraud also may adversely affect a nation's growth and prosperity. The companies involved will be sued and it can cripple the activities of the company and make the country's economic decline and undeveloped, and it also can cause bankruptcy or economic losses to the company engaged in the fraud that will result in litigation losses. Moreover, it causes disruption to the normal operation and performance of the alleged company because the company have received a huge bad impact for their fraud activity that occurs. Finally, this fraud would lead to the destroy of the career of individuals involved in the fraud. For example, directors and also auditors involved will lose trust in the community and will not be hired more in the future due to the fraud occurs. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hello and good day. My name is Sasha Menon, anak perempuan Mohan Kumar Menon with the metric number 280183. I will continue to present the involvement of auditors and the impacts of financial scandal on the auditors. In this part, we will look at who are the auditors involved in the financial scandals, what did they do when they were accused, and what are the effects of the financial scandal to the auditors as well as the audit profession in general. There are 3 audit firms that were sued by Silverbird, which are Audex Governance Sdn Berhad, Focus Internal Audit Solutions, and Crowe Howard. The first 2 mentioned audit firms were the internal auditors, while the latter was an external auditor. The actions taken by the internal and external auditors were quite different in handling the allegations thrown towards them. Crowe Howard, the external auditor, immediately denied the allegations made by Silverbird and stated that it was of no value or basis and that they had performed their duties professionally according to all the statutory requirements. In fact, the Silverbird scandal came to light because Crow recognized and notified the financial irregularities to the board of directors and the audit committee. At the end, Crow Howard refused to provide a basis for an audit opinion as there were too many unusual transactions with no substantial evidence and clarification from the company. However, both the internal auditors did not deny nor accept the allegations made towards them. It was later discovered that the internal auditors failed to disclose the financial irregularities as they believed the audit conducted didn't indicate any material losses, uncertainties or contingencies. They also had poor bookkeeping of transactions as many of the evidence to back the transactions were not found to be true. Moving on, let's look at the effects of the financial scandal to all three auditors and the audit field in general. The Silverbird scandal has caused the Audit Oversight Board, or AOB for short, to be more strict in critically examining and observing audit procedures performed by auditors of public listed companies. The AOB has also sanctioned a penalty of 50,000 ringgit Malaysia to Lee Kok Wai from Crow Howard, the engagement partner of Silverbird at the time, for his failure to comply with the international standards of auditing while performing his duties. Another implication of the rise in financial scandals to auditors is that it causes auditing procedures to be very expensive and time-consuming. Since auditors are now under pressure to provide the best possible audit opinion, they would have to do more extensive research and use latest technologies to perform multiple audit tests. Next, the negative media coverage on auditors regarding these financial scandals causes a high turnover rate among auditors. Many auditors and aspiring auditors choose to shy away or quit the profession due to the fear of their credibility and image being damaged. That is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Akina. My matrix number is 277985. I will continue for the role of auditor in order to overcome financial scandal. An auditor bears no responsibility for detecting any type of fraud in financial account. Instead of being able to detect actual fraudulent acts, the auditor's responsibility is limited to discovering major misstatement due to fraud. Quality assurance is an indicator of the auditor's level of certainty at the end of the audit. Assurance, according to auditing standard, is indeed a high level of consistency but not absolute certainty that perhaps the accounting information is free from errors. Furthermore, auditors should investigate the possibility of fraud and also how the organization handle errors and fraud by following the standard. In addition, auditors in fraud risk management may include conducting interim or full investigation into fraudulent activities. Next, auditor must engage in audit with professional skepticism, acknowledging that there may be situations where the financial statements are materially mispresented. Professional skepticism implies that the auditor analyzes the veracity of the audit evidence obtained and thus become aware of conflicting audit information or question the integrity of management documents or statements. Lastly, the auditor should assess the risk in which the fraud and error will result in material misstatement in financial information while preparing the audit, and the auditor will demand relevant data on any fraud or material errors that have been discovered from the management. Based on risk assessment, the audit team must establish audit procedure that can fairly ensure that misrepresentation due to fraud and mistakes that are material to the financial statement as a whole are discovered. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, we meet again. So I'm gonna tell you the conclusion from this project. In a nutshell, we have identified that Silverbird Malaysia was facing financial scandal in the past. Due to financial scandal, at the same time, it will affect the auditor of the company. Silverbird was facing a hole in their financial statement and make the company have losses during financial scandal year. And there are a few impacts influences due to that fraud. For example, it affects the quality and integrity of the financial reporting process, endanger the accounting profession and the auditors were irresponsible. And the last one, it will result poor economic in market. Therefore, auditor of the company needs to play roles as an external auditor or internal auditor. Internal auditor more connected with company issues, while external auditor more to give an opinion to the company about the financial statement. An auditor needs to overcome financial scandal by detect actual fraudulent acts and discovering major misstatement due to fraud. Other than that, the auditor needs to investigate the possibility of fraud and identify how organization handle error and fraud of the company. Therefore, roles as an auditor in a company is really important to handle financial scandal. That's all from me. Thank you.